All right, guys, welcome back to the Seniors Greater Cincinnati USBC Senior Singles Tournament. We are back. We are full camera. We got two full pairs on here for you guys. Just like before, I told you I'd figure it out, and I managed to figure it out. Looks like I made a slight adjustment on that, but I think we're okay. Yep, somehow that rotated a little bit. Let me adjust that for you guys. There we go. Sorry for the little bit of movement, but just trying to recenter that bottom lane there. Top lane still pretty good, so we do have ourselves some really solid bowlers. Just finishing up practice here. We got 4 on 13 and 14, and we got 8 people on 15 and 16. That's a fun little day. We should see ourselves here for just a few minutes. See what we're able to get. Do have ourselves finishing up here. We've got quite a few people here on the left lane. We do have Deanna Pickett, James Pickett. We've got Robin. We got a few people here. We got Deanna. We got James Blunt. We got John Pickett III. Josh Pickett, for some reason, wrote his name in here, even though he's not bowling. He's still got 19 years before he can bowl this event, so not sure why we got his. Josh says he wants the camera on him. Oh, that's Josh for you. I want all the attention. Robin Stevens getting ready to step up here. We got Jerry G and Edward G over here on the right lane. We got Debbie Reichel getting ready to step up here. We got Miles Harrigan on this pair. We got some good bowlers. Good bowlers. James Sefke up here. Should be a fun time. Should be a fun, great day. Welcome in as you guys are coming in. I see our numbers kind of starting to go up. Want to welcome you guys in again to the Greater Cincinnati USBC Senior Singles event. This is the final shift of the weekend. We have had 3 800 so far this week. We've had 1 300 shot so far this weekend. Thank you. Got quite a few more of these numbers out here for you guys, so that's good. Debbie starting off with a strike. It's starting off with a strike there. Mary getting her strike. Let's see what Robin's able to do here. Ooh, going a little bit high. Let's see what we're able to get. All right, guys, also, as you're watching, let me know what you think of the two cameras. I did have to swap it out. Currently, one of these two cameras, and I'll see if you guys are able to figure it out, one of these two cameras is currently wireless, kind of like our downline camera traditionally is, if you guys have seen the regular one. One of them is wireless, and one of them is actually wired. One is a cell phone camera, an old Pixel 7, and the other camera is a Sony camcorder. Let me know if you guys are able to tell which one is which. Do you think the top is... Which one is the phone camera? Let's go there. Do you think the phone camera is on top or the phone camera is on the bottom? Give me a guess on which one you think it is, and also let me know what you think of the quality of the two cameras. Thank you. Thomas Griffin stepping up to bowl here at 15, leaving himself a 7 pen. I know a lot of these people. John Pickett III stepping up here to bowl on 13. We do have our Tell Us About You sheets back for this one. John Pickett III, 58 years old, currently averaging 215. I think that's what that is. 50 years of bowling since he was 8 years old, managing to throw himself a strike. Everybody on the left side throwing all strikes there. He does bowl here out of Northwest Lanes. He has 300 and an 800. 837 is his high series ever. He is currently has over 3,300 games and over 10 800 series. So, let's see if they will. Come on, Deanna. Oh, a little bit light. Deanna's stepping up here. She's finishing up her second shot here, left lane. Deanna is 51 years old, currently averaging 210. She's been bowling for 46 years. She's been bowling out of Northwest Lanes. This is definitely her home house. Her highest game is a 300, high series of 781. She has currently got one 300, no 800s, obviously with 781. And she is currently bowling 1 to 2 days a week, just depending on the league and the week, if she's in there. All right, let's see if left lane's able to get a little bit better there. Nick able to get the strike there. Walter and Robin getting a little bit of a struggle on that, but bringing it up there. Good cover there for Jerry on the bottom of your screen. Welcome there, Isaac. See you saying hey down there. Welcome on in. As you guys are coming in here, feel free to share, feel free to like, comment. Let us give any questions you have. Let us know what they are. We can make sure to get everybody's questions answered. Talk through this. I'm going to go on and like it myself right now and share that bad boy on YouTube over to Facebook so we can bring some people over. We are now live, so I've shared it. If you guys do the same, let's see how high we can get these numbers, see how many people we can get in here watching this with us. Get some comments, get some conversation going, different things along those lines. Probably going to walk over here and give Wayne the wireless headset so we can have some conversation, some back and forth, so you guys aren't sitting here just listening to me and only me. While we're sitting here doing this, let's go ahead and talk about some of the other. James Blunt stepping up here on 14. James is 82 years old. He has been bowling for 50 years. Let's see if he's able to get a double going to start this off. Oh, just a little bit high on that 4-pin. James is currently bowling out of Madison Bowl. It's his home house. He does have 9 300 games, and his high series is a 793. He is currently bowling 3 days a week. That is all the sheets that I have for that left lane. Nick Vogelsang throwing his shot, getting himself a nice little double there. Nick, obviously, if anybody who knows this area knows Nick. He has been bowling for many years. I'm sure he has many 300s, many 800s. He is coming back. He is a little over 3 years removed from heart transplant. So good to see him up and bowling. He was out of the game there for a little while as he recovered from that, but seeing him back out and bowling is a great thing to see. As we got this sitting there going now, we got Miles Harrigan stepping up on their bottom of your screen, bottom right there on lane 16. He is 60 years old, currently averaging 208. His home house is out of Community Lanes. Ooh. Curve a little bit there on that center. He's been bowling for 26 years. He has 300s and 800. He has 7 300 games and 1 800 series with an 804. And he is currently bowling 6 days a week. John, get away with it. John getting a little lucky to get that 10-pin leave there. Tim Brandon stepped up here on 15 on the bottom left of your screen. He is 66 years old, currently averaging 195. Home lane of Eastern Lanes. Been bowling for 55 years. Currently has 3 300 games and a high series of a 786 while bowling 2 days a week. Let's see if John able to pick up this 10-pin here on lane 14. Let's go ahead and knock that out on top right of your screen. Throw it in there. Hold on. There it is. Good cover there by John. Let's see if Deanna's able to step up here and get herself a nice strike going. Does seem to be that right lane is the issue, because we've got on that left lane, we're 6 out of 7 on strikes, and on the right lane so far, we are now through 1 for 6. Let's try and make it 2 for 7. Come on, Deanna. Let's get 2 for 7 here. There's it is, 2 for 7. So definitely a few more strikes to start us off on lane 13. See if we can break that trend. See if Deanna's able to break that trend right there for lane 14. All right, getting ready to step up over here on lane 15. Obviously, there's no one there right this second, but I do have some information on that individual. So as she gets ready to step up here, in the top left of your screen, I'll be able to give that information. We got Mary Bowman going over there on 13. Look in there, get it. There you go. There's another strike. Keeping it going. That lane 13. They're striking. Robin stepping up. Let's go ahead and end that curse. Let's get a back-to-back strikes here on 14. On Robin. There we go. All right, Debbie really stepping up on here on lane 15. She is 59 years young, averaging 187. Been bowling for 30 years. Oh, 10 pin. Go ahead and run that down. She rolls out of Strike and Spare in Erlanger, Kentucky. She does have one 300 game with a high series of a 726 to her name. She is currently just bowling 1 a day, but last year was bowling 2 to 3 days a week. So just 1 day a week right now, but probably going to be building herself back up here pretty soon. There we go. We're definitely, the left pair is definitely, top pair for you guys is definitely stepping up here, figuring out how to strike on that right lane. All right, let's keep it going. So another strike there from John. Let's see what Nick's able to do here on this right lane. Keep it going. We're running on like 6, 7, 8 strikes in a row here on us. Good day. Let's keep this train going. Oh, that's really out there. Come back. Oh, yeah. He just let that go and that never grabbed. All right, here comes Miss. Oh, get that out of there, Deanna. Good shot, Miles, with a good strike there on both left side of your screen on top and bottom. Both pulling some pretty strong strikes there. William Ziegler, nice strong lefty here on 16. Big strike there from him. All right, Nick, let's go ahead and clean this up real quick, and then we'll get right back to striking. Hold on, hold on. Oh, no. All right, getting ready to step up here on lane 16 on the right side. We've got James Sefke, 59 years old, currently averaging 210. Been bowling for over 40 years. Solid strike there by him. Currently bowls out of Northwest and Bellwood lanes, too. High game of a 300 and a high series of a 769. He does have one 300, no 800, obviously, with that 769 high. And he's currently bowling 3 days a week. All right, guys. See, we are up to 45 people over on YouTube. Let me know where you guys watching from. Put that in, throw a little comment out there. Let us let me know where we are, how far our reach is. I think our record so far is we had somebody from New Zealand watching one of our streams, so that was pretty fun. Had people from Texas, Washington, all over the country just tuning in as you're scrolling through your phone and come across us. And thank you if you've done that. Decided to pause and keep an eye on, hang out with us for a little bit. See some nice bowling gear from our local seniors. Mary stepping up here. Let's see if she's able to get herself a nice solid double. Oh, there it goes. Give it to her. Double there for Miss Mary. All right, guys, if you give me 1 second, I am going to go ahead and transfer. See if Wayne wants to put this headset on since it is a little bit of a light over there at the desk. I think he's back there, so I'll see if he wants to chime in with me here. Have some conversations on us. So give me 1 second. I will be back in about 10-15 seconds. And I'm back. I did set that on there. He was on the phone at that point in time, so he might turn around, see those sitting there, and throw them on. Have some conversations with us. Talk through some of these people. What these people have or whatever. Oh. All right. Let's see what John's doing. Um. All right. Oh, good shot there from Nick. Stone 8. Not very nice. Let's see if Deanna's able to keep that. Mary, James, John, and Deanna. See if they're able to keep that going. Let's see if she's able to keep this. She started the double train. Let's see if she can start the turkey train on that for them. All right, good shot there from Miles. Old, and that's why we bowl on house. This is the local. This is the house shot here, just so you guys know. If you guys are curious on that, that is what we are bowling on here. Handicap is 80% of 220, I do believe. So that is also involved here. None of that is up on the screens. They have papers that they're filling out and turning into the tournament office, and that's what's going to be driving that, and really driving how the placement is and all those things. I see Wayne has put his headset on. I'm not sure if he's able to hear me.
I can hear you, sir.
Hey, good. There we go. Wayne's here.
I just didn't want to interrupt your
Conversation.
with
myself.
Conversation with yourself. Listen, it's okay if you talk to yourself as long as you don't answer back.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Yeah, Ed's saying he's seen a lot of those 8 pins today. Yeah, that'll happen. A lot of the back pins in this building this year. They've gotten better, though. I will say that. The pins have finally started to level out. So definitely good to see that. Wayne's about to upset some people.
Yeah, Wayne, these new pins we put in are proving to take longer to break in than the old set. We went with lens pins this year here instead of the AMFs. With the lens, they have what I was told is a thicker plastic coating.
Yep.
So they're supposed to be more durable that way. And they're proving to, as you can see right there with that 710, they just don't it's taken longer for them to break in and really kind of start flying off those sidewalls like they normally, like the old AMS would.
Yeah.
So by now the AMS would have been well broke in. Scouts would have been flying. I mean, they're coming across. They're just not coming across with the same oomph.
Yeah.
The
Definitely.
10 pins and the 7 pins they still act like new pins with the carry.
Yep. So with that, just out of curiosity, because I mean, obviously they've now been in place. 'Cause you put them in what, September? First week of September or so, I think they
Yeah,
got in,
something in
or
that
maybe
ballpark.
early,
Yeah. Yeah.
late August, something like that. So with that, I don't know if you've had conversations or anything with
Another 7
any
pins.
of them back there, but has there been? Does it seem like they're lasting a little longer?
Oh
Obviously,
yeah,
they're not
absolutely.
that
They're
long.
not.
Like, yeah,
Yeah, they're them guys. The mechanics back there loving them. They're not. They haven't replaced nearly as many as they would have by now.
okay, yeah,
So
that's what I was curious on. I know we're only nine
yeah,
months in, but it's like by 9 months, I'm sure you still have quite a few breaking periodically. So to know,
with the old ones,
yeah,
we would have had quite a few. I can get. We could talk about that with Adam for next Sunday. I'll find out some numbers on how much less
yep, have been
have
breaking,
actually broken and had to be replaced by
yeah.
now.
Yeah, because I know I believe your guys' goal, because with the ones you've been using, you've been having to replace them basically what, every 2 years, and by
Every
the
two
end of that
years. Yep.
second year, you're
They
scrapping by to
yeah
try and,
yeah.
yeah,
So hopefully
you have
this is
new
a lot
pins
better.
in some of the pairs.
They asked me to turn the fans down.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember before these lens showed up, there were what, 1 and 2 or 31 and 32. You guys had totally different pins in because you had run out of too many of the other ones, so you had to
Yeah,
order some.
we actually had to buy a set um, just for 1 and 2 and 31 and 32 had newer sets in that we had to run and buy just because we were waiting on the lens to be
Show up.
made and come in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought I remembered seeing those because they had the black paint on the necks as
Yes.
opposed to this brighter color. Yeah. So
Yeah, and that's
hopefully, I
just
think you
kind of like
guys.
what they had on stock to sell
Oh
us
yeah.
quick. Yeah.
Yep.
It was
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
So with these, I think you guys, if I remember right, you guys are hoping maybe to get 3 years out of these, or do you know that
I
much? I
don't
don't know.
know
I
that
thought.
as far as it's a learning curve with these.
Yeah.
I think they're planning to buy them again in 2 years, but I think what their hope is that, like you said, we're not on our last leg of them. We're not,
Okay.
scrounging and praying they hurry up and show up before we break
Yeah.
20 more and we're out.
Yeah.
We're
That
not
makes sense.
running to go buy 4 sets just so we can get through the summer league.
Yep. That makes sense. Yeah, because how many
Yeah,
do you
well,
guys typically order? Because obviously, for those who don't know, with bowling, traditionally, ideally the lanes will have 20 pins in them. Correct?
yep.
Yeah. So that way, if
So
when pins are down, you got a full rack ready to go and ready to
we
go. So you, yeah.
we order one whole extra set a lane. So we've
Okay.
ordered
So you order 30
96
pins.
sets of pins. Yes,
Okay. So
32
30
lanes
pins
now.
a lane. Yeah, that makes sense. So in 2 years, you guys are still running out. So you're going through a lot.
Yes,
Yeah. So over half of a third of the pins that you order are gone by the time you're 2 years in with the old set.
yes,
Yep.
yeah. Broke, cracked, tore up,
Yep.
unable to be used. Yeah,
Yep.
320 pins are at a gun range, and
Yeah.
the owner is using them for target practice.
Nice. Does he? You guys sell those, or you just got to give them to him?
The ones that are broke and completely unusable, like I said, the owner here is also a gun enthusiast, and him and
Oh,
his
okay.
gun club
Yep.
will come and pick them up in a pickup truck and
Okay, that makes sense.
periodically go and use them for target practice.
Yep. That checks out. Steve Watson.
Steve getting in on his ball of choice.
Yep. Debbie's down here saying that me and Josh don't need any more bowling balls.
Listen, you can't. My wife, you can't say that to a bowler. We always need.
Nope. Yes. And I would like to point out that I have not. My newest release bowling ball is a Hyperdrive Pearl. And I believe that
So
came
you're
out
due
almost
for
a year
one.
ago.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you're due for one.
Exactly. I mean, my Hyperdrive Pearl. When did
I
that?
tell
Let's
you,
see. Let's
if
see
you
when did that
won,
come
what
out.
would you get, Steve?
Oh, I'd have to think on that. I have a first thought, but I'd actually, if I would say that just for the fun of saying it, but honestly, I would probably have to do some research and look into it because I really haven't been paying a ton of attention to what's been coming out lately. But I would definitely take a good hard look at the Storm Bionic that just released.
That would be at the top of my list as well, buddy.
Yeah. But I can't guarantee you that that's the ball I would get. Like I said, I really haven't been keeping too close of an eye on it. I've been preoccupied with other things than some of that stuff here lately, but
Right.
luckily I'm thinking that that's going to be going away here soon, which will make me very happy.
Well, like a cat laying on your laptop and ruining a week's worth of work?
Well, luckily that I fixed the next day. So
Good.
I took that into
I'm
the
glad.
office. That worked out and it fixed, and so that was not a fun evening. I was not happy. But yeah, my job has been a little bit stressful, as I know Wayne's has been this past week too, but mine pretty much the last month has been not a fun time, but that's the case for me always. I do create budgets, and it's budget season. And I presented half of them on Friday. That went pretty smoothly, and I present the other half on Monday. So slowing down at that point.
Good luck, buddy. I know,
Yep.
like I said, the full-time gigs, yeah, they can get that way sometimes.
Yep. So, right there from James. Got Tim Brandon stepping up. I think I already touched on Tim Brandon, so I'll wait.
She done
What?
left me and didn't make it down this far.
She did.
Will you run down there and grab?
Yep. Tell her you want one, or no? You're having her. Okay, good. The person that doesn't have a headset on. Wayne's like, I might not be bowling, but I still want a chance at a Bionic.
Yeah, Debbie never come down this far.
Gavin, there were no 300s. We did have an 800 shot last shift, though. What did he end up? What was a scratch score? I heard people saying 829, and I'm like, there's no way he's.
No,
okay.
He got 813.
Okay.
He might have been 29 with his.
With 5 sticks a game. Yeah. Because I heard people walking down here saying 829, 829. I'm like, wait a minute. He needed 57 or 53, I think. He needed 253 for 800, and he struck out for 260 something.
He 9 counted on the field ball, so
yeah,
he could have got to 814, but either way, got to 813.
Yeah, I knew when I doing the math in my head, I was like, he can't get into the 820s. So when people were saying 829, I'm like, oh, that's with handicap.
Yeah.
Yeah. James think I'm back here talking to myself, which does happen. Yeah.
Again, James, you're allowed to talk to yourself. You're just not allowed to respond.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see he looked real confused. Jerry G stepping up here on 16. Let's see if he's able to get himself a strike with a phase. I think that was a phase AI he just threw down the lane. A little bit high for a 4-pin. Jerry is 63 years old, currently averaging 215. He has been bowling for 55 years. Bowling out of Mason. Mason Bowl over there. High game of 300. high series of 795, and he does have 4 of those 300s, with bowling currently 2 days a week. And I believe, from my understanding, that Jerry will be back next year bowling with not next year, but next week with Mr. Blake Sheldon. I think was who was talking about him the other day.
Yep, they're bowling our Scotch doubles together.
Yes, they are.
Jerry's a frequent flyer at our senior sweepers here on Sunday.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Ed is his brother. I could be wrong, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Ed is probably his brother. So we've got Edward G stepping up here on lane 16. He is 53 years old, averaging 180. Been bowling for 33 years. Currently bowls out of Basin as well, with the high game of 289 and a high series of 696. Currently bowling 2 days a week.
Hey, I'm going to one-up you there, Steve, and I'm going to step out on a little further on that limb and bet that Edward is the younger brother.
That's a good guess. Considering I just told you their ages, I'm gonna say that's probably a good guess there. The only thing that I could be off on is
Just
if
on
they're
a
like
limb. Just a shot in the dark, buddy.
they're like cousins or like something random like that. But I'm gonna guess brothers. Nick Vogel saying trying to make faces at the cameras, not realizing he's not that tall. He's tall, but he's not that tall.
He's that tall.
No. Oh, good cover there. Good spare pickup by Ed. Yep. Mary, see if Robin, see what she's able to do here. She's working on herself a nice little string here. Ooh,
Yeah,
I've got to
Robin
keep my eye down on the left lane and actually get to go mobile for the first time this weekend. Since we tried to do that last time, but obviously we ran into technical difficulties. But might have an opportunity to go mobile down here on lanes 5 and 6. We've got a couple of people down there with some
Robin is
long streets.
one of Coleraine Cardinals' coaches.
Very nice. All right, let's see what you got here, Robin. Oh, I thought that looked high when she let it go. It was. Still able to clean it up. Still having a solid game. Oh, I jinxed somebody down there. Who'd I jinx? Oh, Clarence Garner. Except I never said his name. I just said people were on fronts. So in my world, if I didn't say who it was, I didn't jinx him.
Okay.
Got Willie bowling down there. Oh, Robin chopping that spare there. Get back on the strike train. Bring that score back up.
Jerry, I think, is throwing the original phase.
Oh, is it? Oh, phase 1? Interesting. I don't know that I've ever seen a phase. I know the phase AI, it looks similar. The coloring looks similar. So I'm not sure. Maybe it is just a phase.
That's what it looked like from this angle when I was looking at the colors. It looked like the original
Yeah.
phase.
It could be.
I might.
Oh, no.
Head a little high.
Yep. Head coming a little high there. Let's see if he's able to keep his spare. Make a couple of splits in a row here. I don't see any cards out there, but that's a card and a quarter on Tuesday night for us. John able to get it. Oh, coming up a little high too. Seems like maybe the lanes are starting to break down just a little bit on these guys.
Yeah, the back ends on this, with them being oiled right before each shift. Normally, here our senior bowlers here, we talk about it. They get the oil is the lanes are dressed and oiled the night before.
Yep.
getting them dressed right before you start a shift, within that hour before you start your shift, makes those back ends just a little bit extra crispy. The outside a little extra crispy. There's a little more hook out there than some of them are used to.
Yep.
Plenty of these guys, will bowl senior leagues and still bowl regular leagues and know what it
Yeah,
looks like,
definitely.
feels like. But
I would say, yeah, Deanna, James there. Yeah, a lot of them all bowl throughout the week, at least one night a week and something. But they also definitely do bowl. I think, and then actually they bowl Progressive League. I know Deanna and James bowl Progressive League together.
Yep.
Along with Josh, who Josh filled out a tell us about you, but Josh isn't even bowling. He's got 19 years left on that. He said he wants the camera on him too, which that checks out for him.
Sure.
Everybody look at me. I just remember there for a while we had to hide their microphone anytime he was in the building. The Northwest
Josh
microphone,
can't be
not
trusted with the PA microphone.
Yeah. Especially if he's been in the building for a little too long that day.
Once he's been here and had a few drinks,
Yep.
He's not allowed on the microphone.
Or if he's in the summertime, if he's walks in here and you can tell that he's been over at Nate's all day, that's another time not to let him on the microphone. He comes walking over here and slides and whatever, he's been over there for a while. That's good. Oh, yep, it does look like. Oh, I might. One more shot. I might get to go. I know. I'm just saying. I might get to go mobile. We'll see.
Driving high again. Thomas Griffin, another one of our regulars at the Sunday Sweepers. That's usually our cue to start the Sunday Sweepers when Thomas walks in the door and gets signed up.
That's true. Get myself set up here just in case I do need to set something up somewhere.
Jerry over here looking for the 8-bagger for that foursome over there on 15 and 16. Don't be that guy, Jerry.
I don't want to do that. There he goes.
I'm almost positive now that I've seen that one go down the lane. That's the original face.
Yeah, as you say that, it definitely looks older. All right. There we go. Jay. Ooh, getting away with it. Went high again on John, so I think he might need to be making a move here in just a second. Good shot there from Walter. Nick getting ready to step back in here. Oh, nope. Lost it. That's my fault. I jinxed him. So that is end our final fronts. Scott Thomas had front 8 down there on 5 and 6, but he did come in a little bit high there, leaving himself a 3-pin. So that kind of slowed him down. Sure, Wayne's going down here to do something. Nope, Wayne's turning the TV on. That's what Wayne's doing. Oh, get that spare. Get it. Oh, made a good run at it. That is one thing. That is another thing that I will say. I'll mention this too when Wayne gets back up here and ask him if he's noticed that too. But this last year or two, I don't know if it's the honestly, really, it's been I think over the last year, about 2 years really. So I don't know that I can really been playing. Yep, yeah, big. There's really a lot of good bowlers here today. Do have that is Deanna Pickett. She's definitely bowling solid there in that Cowboys jersey. We'll forgive her for that this time. She is a big Cowboys fan, but it is what it is. Nobody's perfect. So we've got a lot of people bowling really well through here. Now that he's grabbing this headset here, I'll bring it up to him too, because I know just recently there we did have Tim should sit there and shoot his 4-4 split there. Wayne still, once he gets that headset back on, I'll make sure to ask him that question there. But it just feels like the 4 split is something that I really hadn't seen in this building very much until about a year or two ago. About 2 years ago, actually, really when I started seeing it. I definitely saw it more at Boulder League and Crossgate. Well, I mean, there's a lot of different things there, Andy. There's quite a few sports you don't necessarily have to be peak of physical shape to do well in them. I mean, there's definitely still some people, depending on where you're playing in it. I mean, baseball players have some stamina for sure, but there's some of them who I wouldn't necessarily say is the peak of athletic body. But it does take a lot of skill still, regardless of what your physical shape may be, is skill to repeat shots, throw it in that same spot over and over again.
Are you talking about bowlers not being it?
Yeah, he said you certainly don't have to be a high performance athlete to be good at this sport. But I mean, there's a difference between that's like saying it's going to like a local kind of. I mean, this is a little different. But going to like a rec league basketball game and saying, "Oh, they're not in perfect shape." But if you look at a lot of those people on like PBA tour, you aren't going to find too many people who are out of shape on that league because those people are bowling. I believe we're getting ready to start here in about an hour the stepladder finals of the U.S. Open.
Yeah,
And in order to make
games.
that, they bowled 60 games in what 4 days?
Yeah, and if you're not in good shape, you try that.
You're not doing that. Yeah,
you're not doing it.
Yeah. Welcome in, everybody. Again, we're sitting here pushing up on 100 people over on YouTube. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Where are you guys tuning in from over there on the YouTube side or on TikTok? We got 3 of you over there. Let me know where you guys are watching from. See how far we've got this stretch. Anybody who's stopped in and decided to sit here and watch with us, let me know. It's always fun to see where people are coming in from.
Look, at first I thought it was me. It was my hair.
Oh, let's see if I win a bowling ball.
Bowlers, we're getting ready for the raffle.
Yeah. It don't matter. She doesn't need to be on the microphone. Just pull mine, and it's all that matters.
We'll wait 3 balls, okay?
Ooh, 3 of them.
Oh, we're giving 3 bowling balls away.
Last ball was counted. So, our first winner pulled by an anonymous person. Numbers 8, 5, 1, 1, 1, 2.
I was only 12 away from that. She needs to add 12 to that number.
Oh Lord.
So
Donovan Washington wins.
the balls that the next winner and this winner, you get a form to fill out. You need to bring it back to me today. You have 30 days to redeem your certificate. Get the ball. So come in there April the 10th. So good. Fill it out back to me. Give it to the associate. Full of tickets.
Next winner.
All right, come on, let's see.
The next one, 851106.
You went the wrong way.
Fake 12
You
the wrong
had to
direction.
go north, higher, not lower. Come on. Killing me. Final bowling ball getting ready to come up here. Ella Baker winning it. Mike, I think, getting ready to walk up. Oh, there she goes. Yep. Turning it in. All right, finishing up here. Mary with a 210. James getting himself a 214. A couple of really solid games. Robin with a 225. Walter getting himself to a 179. Nick's going to be able to get himself up to a 235 if he's able to finish out this game here. Have himself potentially the highest. Oh, no, John Pickett could definitely still get himself to 259, so he's probably going to end up at the highest on the pair. Because even if he doesn't strike, he'll probably be over that 235 number.
I don't know who it was. I didn't look at it. Yeah. If it was her, I couldn't. I can't. The last one is Steve Stutz, Stutz.
Close, Steve.
Wrong, Steve. So I'm within 20 of the number both times she says a number, and then she says my name, the first name, and gets the last name wrong. It's 3 times, and I'm that close, and no. What was the number on that one? 851130.
Thank you for your participation. Thank you.
Guessing not, because he's not even here right now. So
all that, give that back to me when she goes in there. She can go.
The last 3 on that number was 049.
851049.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That was a little further away. Dizzler, this is actually a little bit different than normal here. So I know you typically have tuned in around this time when we have been doing our step ladders. This is actually the Greater Cincinnati USBC Seniors Singles. So with city tournaments, typically what you have is you just have multiple shifts of handicap bowlers, and whoever ends up with the high series is actually the winner. This is the 5th shift of this tournament and the final shift, so it will just be whoever had the high score is the winner. So Dizzler, it is just a little bit different format here with that, with the being the city. That's something that we have for the seniors here. Our USBC for Cincinnati runs this event here every year, pretty much. So we will have that. We'll be back with the normal step ladder finals next weekend, I do believe, or some sort of a finals next weekend. I'm not sure exactly what that format is on that. But we have a Scotch doubles tournament next weekend. And then on the 22nd, we'll be back in here with another Greater Cincinnati USBC senior event, which will be the same format as what you have now, but the only difference being instead of a singles event, it will be a doubles event. So we will have that in here in 2 weeks. Whereas, like I said, next week we'll be back to our normal step ladder or finals situation with that Scotch doubles.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, we only got a couple weeks. 2 or 3 regular sweepers or somewhat of our normal format.
Yep.
Left, and then we're gonna get a couple months. Well, not quite 2 months, like 9 weeks off.
Yeah, because we got 6 weeks of women's state, and then the very first weekend after that's done is the just curate doubles, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. So that's 7 straight weeks without
7 or 8. Yeah, about to say. Give it to Debbie. Debbie.
Yep. Welcome, Malika. Malika's watching from home. I know you sent that about 5 minutes ago, but I saw it, but we were talking about other things.
Malika could have been in here in the booth with you. She's always fun to have in a booth.
Yep. Actually, just look at Josh already
You know-
disappeared. He was done. He didn't even make it through the whole first game, and he was already gone.
Listen. Oh Lord, have mercy.
Did he just go through the face and strike, or did he miss the head?
No, that was he whiffed the head pin and struck.
Oh, that's always fun.
That's where we need replay. We got to learn that trick, Steve.
Yeah, I know. Yep. So OMG there for that. So I'm guessing they saw that one too. Hey, Malika said she's having a lazy day. What's that? You know what that is?
I don't get those.
I don't. It's been a minute since I've had one of those
Malik,
too.
enjoy those while
Yeah.
Amani is still young enough and you can enjoy those. A couple more years from now, you will not get those.
Yep.
That you will be. You think you're on the go now. Wait until they start getting into school and after school activities. And, yeah.
Yep. Oh, Thomas able to finish that out there with after getting that wonderful, giving us that wonderful definition of senior carry.
Yeah, that was a visual demonstration of it.
Yep, get some nice solid 244 out of him there. William with the high on the pair, it looks like, with a 247. So yeah, no one else. Well, no. Jerry can tie that 247. Good solid strike there by Jim. I never know if he goes by Jim or if he's James.
This, I take that back. Now this is Phase AI stuff.
Okay, maybe he changed it. That looks like the same ball he's been throwing. I wonder, honestly, what it
now
looks
that I
like
see
is
it might be throwing the Phase AI on this lane and the original Phase on 15. That
maybe
one
but
on 15 was way more colorful.
Yeah.
Now that
that one, I think it looks like if even if it is a Phase AI, he's definitely
put some
hit it with something. Yeah.
Yes.
Because that is not nearly as shiny as a typical Phase AI. All right, Jerry tried to get that 247 to be the tied for high on the pair over there. Just needs another 2 strikes here to pull that off. Michael Ash said he's watching from Malika's house as well. Fire is watching from Washington, D.C. Welcome in from Washington. Ooh, getting away with that one. That looked a little high there for him.
That was definitely
Jerry.
some senior and some Phase AI carry.
Yep.
There was a couple carries involved in that one.
Yep. Oh, Nick able to get a trip 4 out there on 13. All right, Jerry, let's finish this out. Get a solid 247 game 1 here. Finish this out. Don't let William get all the glory here.
Trusted that one better.
Oh, and that's what happens in bowling.
Yeah.
Nope, still a solid game. 246. Really good game.
He messed around through a good one.
Yep. Can't do that. Oh. John over here looks like he was trying to make a move and maybe went a little too far left. That one never quite turned the corner.
Threaded 2-8-10.
Yeah, got 2 of them. That's all you can really ask for with that most of the time.
Absolutely. You guys have a good one.
Alvin want a bowling ball? A bowling ball? Oh, she want a bowling ball. She said Donovan. Oh, you gave it to her?
Having some fun down there.
Yeah, I had to mute myself real quick because I knew Gary was going to say something that shouldn't be said.
Set on camera. Yep. That checks out. Especially, I mean, when he's walking around, he's just coming back from the bar. He's just having himself a good day. Nothing wrong with that. All right, got Mr. Debbie and Ed getting us started off on 15 and 16 for game 2 for them. They said they're probably going to be the last lanes done, but they are the only pair currently bowling that has 8 bowlers on their pair. Everybody else has 7. So that will take them just a hair longer to finish up.
That math's out.
Yep.
It should.
It doesn't always.
Yeah, true
But-
story.
Yeah. We've seen that multiple times on Sundays. We'll have like 5 on a pair and 4 on the pair, and that 4 will be there a little longer than some of them 5s. Some of that isn't always necessarily a fault. It also depends on who they're following and things like that. Because on Sundays, normal Sundays, what I'm saying there is we have our sweeper, and you switch lanes every game. So sometimes
Right.
if you're
Sometimes-
following a group of 5 and they're slower, a little slower, it can slow you down. So not always their fault. But there are definitely some people in this city who you just know are going to take a little longer than others.
I'm sure it's not just this city. That's everywhere.
Oh, it's everywhere, yeah.
Everywhere.
But in this city, we know who those people are.
Yeah, you know who they are in your city too.
Yeah, exactly. You know who they are in your league night. You're like, oh, I'm going next to this team. Definitely on Tuesday nights. Tuesday nights, I know the specific people. I bowl league here Tuesday nights. Wayne's up here with running brackets and all that. It's always
Yep.
funny how when he's up there doing brackets, and you're always waiting to get those last couple scores in. About 90% of the time, it always seems to be the same person that we're waiting on. It's not him that's the problem. It's one of his teammates that causes him to be the last person we're waiting on. Because even if you ask him, he'll tell you who it is and he'll explain why it happens. Oh man, it's fun time. Speaking of, what time you left? So you didn't know. I was going to ask what time Lee got done yesterday afternoon. But you weren't here. Normally you are, but you weren't here.
Normally I'm here. I have traded my Fridays for Saturdays.
Yep.
Because my Sundays are going to get even earlier coming up for women's state.
Yeah. What time what's the first shift of women's state going to be?
I'm not sure of the first shift. All I know is they want to be in here at 7:30 in the morning to get everything set up and moving. So, and with state tournament, I understand it. It's a lot of moving parts. There are volunteers have to come in and get their lane assignments, and score runners are getting their assignments and their paperwork ready. And
that's true.
Bracket person has to come in and they have to know who's coming in brackets, and I have to be here to help because everything's getting ran through BLS. So I'm setting up drop-in leagues for them and got to start entering scores through BLS for them. And
So speaking of that, I know I should know this answer, and I think I do, but I don't know for sure. So I always keep saying you have women's state in here. Which one is it? Team or is it doubles and singles?
We are singles and doubles.
We're singles and doubles. That's what I thought. Team is over at Gilmore.
Gilmore, yes.
Yes. Okay. I thought so. That makes sense. Bigger house, you probably would want singles and doubles you're going to be able to spread them out a little more, get them in and out of here a little quicker since they're bowling 6 games.
At least now you're asking me and you're making me double question, Steve. I'm gonna
So
look.
I thought it was singles and doubles in here too. That's what I was thinking it was, but I wasn't certain.
Yes. Teams
Okay.
is at Gilmore and doubles and singles is here. You
Okay.
made me double dip. I was like, I said that, and I hope I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's singles and doubles.
Okay. And I heard that was the first that I had heard when Rick had said this morning. It was like he said, it's not here, but I was hearing that state men's are going to be down in this area next year.
Oh, really?
That's what he
Never
was
come south of
saying.
Dayton.
I know that's well, and then the even better, the crazy thing, and I don't know. Again, I don't know how true this is or anything else, but he heard that Super Bowl was going to get one of the events, which makes it real interesting. Yeah, I see your face because I know why you're making that face. For those of you who don't know and aren't in this area, we're in Ohio. We're in southwest Ohio. Western Bowl, I heard, was going to host one of them. That is in Cincinnati, in Ohio.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Super Bowl, however, is in the greater
river.
Cincinnati USBC sanction. So you're bowling an Ohio sanctioned event, but that bowling center is not in Ohio.
Well, neither is Cincinnati's airport. So.
Well, this is true too. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, Bellwood's just across the river in Newport, Kentucky.
Yep. Again, I don't know how accurate that is or if they've made that official announcement.
They finally decide to come south of Dayton and go even further and go south of the river.
Yeah, go into Kentucky.
Awesome.
That checks out.
Yeah, checks out.
Yep. I know he said that they had talked about it. Just the fact that they just don't have way too many things going on here to keep that. Because I think that runs more than 6 weeks, doesn't it? Or
absolutely. Yeah, that's 4 months.
State, men's state is 4 months. Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that. It's, they start a month ago and run till
June or something.
Yeah, mid-June.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a lot.
Yeah. And it's just, we have way too many weekend leagues.
Yeah. Way too many weekend leagues, way too many weekend tournaments, all that. Yeah.
Not that we wouldn't love to have them.
Yeah. Just run something like that. So you got to dedicate, like we're doing with Women's State. You got to dedicate your entire bowling alley to that for months.
Men's State this year is run from February 21st to April 26th.
Yeah, that's a long time and I think there's a league on Saturdays that would very much boycott you trying to do that.
3 months, and and just that time frame is not good for us to run it here.
I mean, even if they tried to move it into the summer, that's not good because, like we've talked about before, there's so many tournaments in here through the summer, you can barely get anything going.
We literally have something going on in this house every weekend this summer. Something is going on every weekend this summer.
Yep.
Yeah, if you're looking for a tournament to bowl,
come to Northwest.
Come to Northwest Lanes. You can bowl something every weekend.
Yep. So what is going on the 2 weeks between? Because I know the Just Cure It. We've mentioned this before. We've talked about this in some of the other ones. Just Cure It coming up. Is that May? 15th and 16th? I remember the exact dates. That is.
Man. Let me pull up my Google Calendar.
16th and 17th. So I was off. I was off by 1 day. So then with that coming in here, I was trying to remember, what was the reasoning for the BMB gear getting pushed back a couple of weeks?
So he didn't want to run into another tournament up north.
Oh, that's right. That's what it was.
No. Sorry. It was TNBA Nationals he didn't want to run into.
Okay.
That's in Atlanta. Something along that effect.
Yep.
So then the next date available for him to move, so he also didn't run into the Postal and things like that. Just right around him was the weekend he chose.
Makes sense. I'm a little surprised there's nothing going on the last weekend of May or the first weekend of June. I mean, I get Memorial Day, that makes sense. But the other two,
Well, I mean, no, that's no weekend long event. You're right.
yeah,
So
we'll have our
we'll
senior,
have our
we'll have our
sweeper.
sweeper going on then,
Yeah.
which will be nice.
So, like we said, there's something going on every weekend.
Oh yeah. Then you get 4th of July, and then you're right into the TNBA for 2 weeks, and then you're into the Herschel Lawn Care, and then you're into the Tim Troutman's youth tournament. Then you're
Yep.
into cashing out winning weekend. So yeah, the entire month of July, outside of 4th of July weekend, there is going to be a tournament in here every weekend, like a special tournament, not a
Weekend long events. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then anytime there's not a weekend long event here, we're running.
Yep.
Our
Sweeper.
Sunday sweeper. We'll be doing double headers this summer. More than
Will we?
likely.
Okay.
More than likely.
So even when we do have things on weekend long events, we'll probably still be seeing something Sunday night.
For most of those, depending on when their last shift
When their
starts,
last shift, that's right. That's true. A couple of them, their last shift.
We don't
butts
want to
up.
be here till 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning.
What? Why not?
Well, I mean, some people work Monday morning, Steve.
You're not one of them.
I'm not one of them, but
I am,
I'm
though.
looking out for you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, Gavin, that's what we're just saying. We're not officially stating anything. There's still some things going on. We don't know for sure if the night sweepers are coming back, but they may be coming back. We'll have an announcement on that for sure. Probably here in the next 2 months. We'll be able to officially announce that. Probably even sooner, but yeah.
Absolutely.
We'll have those back. If those are back, I'm sure we'll also have a point system back. All that'll be running back, and even next year we'll probably even have the point system back for our regular sweeper.
Yes, we will. So I had plenty of people asking me about that.
Yep.
And I tell people all the same. We changed our format.
Yep.
And I personally wanted to make sure it was going to work. It was going to run as smoothly as we felt like it was going to run, and people liked it.
Yep.
Hang on one second.
All right, let's see here. Nick stepping up here at front 3. Let's get number 4. According to Wayne, I cannot jinx this. Nope, even though I just did. That wasn't my fault. Wayne said it can't be my fault. That was only 3. Oh wow, that's a fun leave there for Miles on 16.
Yeah, you don't see that one every day.
No, you do not.
679.
Yep.
Oh no, that's 469. That's 4.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow. Miles.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
On today's episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going back to the format. We wanted to make sure it worked. So now now that we're confident of that, I've got plenty of time to come up with a good point system for it.
There we go.
That'll be in place next year.
Yep. Yeah, I think there was definitely some hiccups and some learning curves. I mean, we're still a little bit of learning curves on the new format, but we've definitely come a long way, and I think we're pretty solid on that now.
That, and I think people love it. I think getting rid of that King of the Hill round, everybody's okay with it.
Yep.
Having to win one match to get into the cash, people are okay with it. I think they'd rather be in match play than that King of the Hill and catch a bad pair.
Yep, I can see that. And really, and then too, like we said, we were able to, by adding the buys in, it allowed it to where the qualifying still means something to get the high qualifier or do something.
Right, there. And it's not just high qualifier. The one getting something.
Multiple people.
We get multiple. We get a big crowd in here. 3, 4, potentially 5 people could get buys into cashers rounds. So
yep, I think our record was 6 or something. We had 90-something people the one time.
Yeah, something like that.
Our typical big weekend.
So yeah, our rule for that is 1 in every 16 get a buy.
Gavin saying he's watching another tournament. Somebody tripped up, managed to make the sour apple.
I'd like to see that.
Did they go grab a house ball that was 8 pounds?
8-pound house ball, like
Gavin saying the New Year, the last regular sweeper of the year, and the New Year's Day sweeper are some of his favorites of the year. Those were definitely a lot of fun. Oh, he got a 6-pound house ball. Yeah, that's what we said. That's what you have to throw a very light ball, because that's about the only way you can do it, is to get it light enough for it to bounce off the 5 and ricochet into the 10. Or well, he's probably left-handed then, or so maybe, I don't know. But typically, you kind of hook at it if you're a right-hander. You hook at it and hope that send the 5 into the 10, and then have it ricochet off of that and into the 7. So Gavin, was he left-handed when he did that, or did he actually manage to be right-handed and bounce it off of there, right to left, or left to right? Yep, lefty. That was going to say, there's no way. He did say he grabbed a 6-pound ball and did it. He said he bounced the ball and 5 hit the 7 and the ball bounced into the 10. And I was like, that had to have been a lefty, and it was. Because your righty isn't going to bounce it that way. That's the
we
other
used to
thing.
do that back in the day. We used to set sour apple up and sit here with 8 and 6 and 8-pound house balls and try to make it.
Yep. Is that one where, like, speaking of, I guess I know you guys aren't doing anything new, so I guess maybe not. I was gonna say, because that's always the fun thing. And I know it's incredibly expensive, but getting the pin setters that would let you choose what pins to put down. But
yep,
like we talked about yesterday, the upkeep and the maintenance here is top notch. So they are nowhere near needing to get new pin setters in this building. You're probably at least a decade away from anything like that.
Easily.
As at least that's what I said, because I know there's a lot of places. Like, how, just out of curiosity, do you know how old these machines are? I'm sure
I think they're working on 11 or 12 years now.
Oh, okay. So they just replace. Okay, that makes a lot of sense then.
These are not that old.
Okay, so you guys replaced everything. So I didn't realize you guys replaced those that short ago.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They got replaced, I think, the year before I started working here.
Okay.
So, yeah, they're 11, probably working on 12 years old.
Okay. And then the surfaces are, if I remember right, the surfaces are like coming up on 20 years old.
Sorry, what was you saying, Steve?
I said I think the surfaces are 20 years old ish, coming up on that.
04. They got replaced. A little over
20 years. Okay. How, I guess that's one thing not being, I mean, I've been bowling. I bowled a lot when I was in high school and things, but I didn't learn a lot about the bowling world or some of the intricacies of all that stuff there. How long do surfaces traditionally last?
Man, a synthetic surface like this could last you a long, long time. Coleraine had theirs in quite a few years before we got ours.
Yeah. I mean, now
Durban's
still using theirs. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, these synthetic ones.
Yep.
I don't know if anybody's found out the longevity. of these
That's
synthetic
true.
ones yet.
Yeah. Well, I know Western just replaced all their synthetics, but I don't know if that was necessarily because the panels were bad. I just think maybe they just
I
wanted
think
new
that
ones
was
in
a
there.
choice. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was one of the first times I had heard of people swapping out the from synthetic to synthetic. Because obviously
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of the wood to synthetic.
And again, I'd had to ask them, but I think also that was not just a matter of them being bad. They also swapped type of synthetic lane service too. So
Yes. Yeah, they went to
they went
HPLs,
to
I believe.
something different, yeah, than what they
Very high
had.
friction.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Gilmore has been wood since they opened.
Yeah.
I mean, typically when you have a wood house, that's probably what was one of the first put down. Yeah.
Nobody's going back to it. That's for
No.
sure.
Yeah. Nobody's replacing wood. I don't know that I've even heard of anybody replacing wood with wood. Like, I think once it's time to go, I think most
Gilmore
places are
may
throwing.
have had. I'll have to ask. There was some 15-ish years ago or so. Part of their roof got ripped off with a bad storm or potential tornado that
Oh,
was in this
interesting.
area,
Yeah.
and I want to say 1 and 2 down there got pretty messed up. I don't know if they had to replace it or what, but a
Okay.
couple of their lanes got pretty messed up in a storm that
Yep.
kind of damaged part of their roof over there.
Well, that makes more. Well, they didn't
That was a
replace the
while
whole
ago.
house, so
Right. So
yeah.
somebody watching that knows that or remembers that.
Oh no. I do know that Gavin's saying he hates lane 1 and 2. He said 1 and 2 are death for him at Gilmore.
And
that's true of any bowling alley.
Any
One
bowling
and
alley. One and
the
two.
end pairs are always rough.
Yeah. And especially like for Gilmore, 1 and 2, just like us, is that it's a wall pair. Like there's no buffer between 1 and 2 and the outside wall.
Nope.
31 and 32 here isn't so
Well,
bad because there's a hallway buffer on the other side of that wall.
It's the same way on 23 and 24 over there. They have a hallway buffer.
They have a hallway buffer
now,
on 23 and 24.
The one thing I will say for here that you guys have that some bowling alleys don't have, specifically one that I bowl in on Thursday nights, and luckily our league uses 1 and 2 at Stone Lanes, but luckily I have not caught that pair yet this season. Because
they're literally on the wall.
You guys have a walkway and a door. So there's about a 2-3 foot gap between the end of the lane and the wall. At Stones, the wall is the gutter cap.
Yeah.
That is, you are against it. So if you are a right-hander trying to bowl at Stones on lane 1, you only can get so far right. Or so far left, I mean.
Gilmore has a small one over there too, because that's where they used to keep their bumper balloons, their gutter balloons for bumper bowling.
Yep. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So there's a small gap before the wall there at Gilmore as well.
Yeah, I've noticed I haven't hit it. Yeah. Gavin said that he's bowled on that pair and has a video of it. He said his leg hit the wall every time he did it. I think one time one of our lanes broke down and they moved us to 1 and 2, and I literally just threw my spare ball on lane 1.
Speaking of hitting the wall, did anybody see the like little shootout between EJ Tackett and Belmo at the USBC Hall of Fame, where they redid the old lanes and they were literally on a wall. They had a above ground ball return.
The one I remember seeing is when they did the one last year when they had like 4 or 5 people qualifying for something. It was like the U.S. versus the world. And it was Bill O'Neill versus Belmo. And that was at the oldest bowling alley.
So they did something very similar this year.
Okay.
And that was their team captains. This year it's EJ Tackett and Belmo.
Okay.
And they were bowling at the National Hall of Fame USBC, and they recreated a really old bowling lane there.
Oh, okay. They recreated it.
This was their mock-up of it, and lane 1 there was Belmo and EJ were struggling with kicking that wall.
Yep. I did not see that one, but yeah.
But that was on a wood surface too. So they put out a wood
Interesting.
set of
So they
lanes.
recreated with the wood
Recreated an
surface.
old.
Very nice.
Yeah, Tom Clark's son had to go out there and be the work the pin setters and everything.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'll have to go watch that.
Yeah. It was just live a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Like I said, I still remember somebody talking about how they used to be a pin setter at a bowling alley and all the bruises they would come home with and everything else, because it'd be a 12, 13, 14-year-old just sitting back in the lanes, setting the pins in the. I mean, they weren't setting them on the lane. They still had a little machine. It just wasn't mechanical.
You had to pull down and
crank it. Yeah.
you had to load it in the machines yourself.
Yep. And just
You
sit
wanted
back
to see
there.
what it was like? Go home on YouTube and Google that DJ Tackett and Belmo match, and you'll see. There's speaking of Gavin, he's standing here.
Oh, is he right behind you? Oh, there he is. Yep. There they both are. What are they doing in here?
Apparently, they were on the phone while they were driving up here.
Apparently. Well, Gavin can't drive, so
somebody
he
else
definitely wasn't. Yeah. I know they're not. Well, maybe they're planning on bowling when this is over, because we'll have open lanes down here on this end.
Sure.
There's a good strike by Thomas. He actually hit the 1-3 pocket.
What it looks like when you hit the head pin, yeah.
Oh, that's not the wall I'm talking about. Yeah. Yes. He was on 13 and 14 at Stones. That's not the wall. 1 is the wall.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, Stones actually has they actually are the oldest public bowling alley in the country at this point in time. That is their claim to fame. And if you told me their pin setters are still there from there, I might believe you. But I know the roof is probably still the same. But
the stuff Steve sends me every week when he bowls at Stones, his adventures of bowling league at Stones is fun.
Yep, it is. It's a lot of fun.
Especially the whatever contraption they had to catch water that was leaking.
That was
one time. That was a fun one.
Yep. But yeah. When they first opened down there, from my understanding, they either had it was either candlestick or duck pin, I believe, were on 1 through 12, and then 13 through 28 was normal bowling. And then at some point in time, they switched everything over to standard bowling. But if you've ever been in there, it's it's an L shape, and you've got 1 through 12 is on the one side, and then it turn a corner, and then you got 13 through 28 on a different side.
Yeah.
And so it's an interesting setup. But it's a fun time there. It's still bowling. Get out. It's casual, unsanctioned league. Have some fun with it. But it is an interesting time, never knowing what to get into when you go
Turkey Bowl every year too, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's their one
last
tournament
time I bowled
there.
That's what I was bowling, was the Turkey Bowl.
Yeah. They've actually, it used to be on their house shot, and about, I think, 3, 4, 5 years ago, they switched it from their house shot because they were spending way too much money on turkeys.
Well, now they only give away 1 turkey too. So you see, the last time I bowled it, you could win as many turkeys as you want. You had to throw a 5-bagger to win a turkey.
Yes.
And I bowled 2 shifts, and I walked out of there with 5 turkeys, and I had them in my freezer for like 3 years.
Yeah.
We were periodically pulling them out of the freezer and going, let's have turkey.
Yeah. Let's make a 10-pound turkey for no reason.
Right. I got them. They're here.
Yep. Yeah. But, yep.
Yeah. I won like 5 turkeys and lost, $100 in quarters to Joel Ray. So it balanced out.
There you go. That works. Coming to the end. We've been talking a lot. Is this game 2 or game 3?
This is game. You're asking me.
I know. Okay. I thought so. I'm like, it's getting later than I would have expected it to, but it's like, okay, nope, we're still on game 2. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it home. But, oh well.
You guys don't. You guys start at 6. That's right.
Yes. Yeah, we start at 6. Normally, we're done by about 4:30, so maybe if it's 4:30, I might be able to get out of here. And it should be done by 4:30, I would get. Well,
Yeah.
maybe not. I don't know, because
You
they
still
started
got
at
a
2.
Another hour.
Yeah, but they started at 2. And at this pace, they're going to be done at about 4, which means they're going to take another hour to get done with their last game. And down on 3 and 4, you got them starting game 3. So down there, I would say for sure. But you still got 4 frames to go up here on 15 and 16. I mean, I'm fine staying here. Jessica might not be fine with me staying here, but I'm okay with it. I brought my stuff.
Right. Sorry, Jess.
Sorry, Jess.
Sacrifices have to be made.
Yeah.
Get
That's
it?
okay.
No.
She's after last week, she can drive up here anyways. she lost track of time. Volunteering at the shelter. I get home, and the shelter she was at doesn't have self-service, so I get home at like 4:45, almost 5 o'clock, to eat some dinner real quick and bring her over here. She's not home.
Whoops.
And no service and thing, so I call her, she's not answering her phone.
Whoops.
Took her about a half hour to answer. By that point, I had already called the shelter to ask if she was there. They're like, "Why are you calling?" I'm like, "She's normally home by now, and I don't know where she is." Of course, her response was, "Well, at least I know you do care about me."
Not home on time, I care.
Yeah. Then she ended up realizing, oh, wait, she was coming from down by Spring Grove Cemetery. She drove straight up here, so I didn't even drive her over here, which is normally why I drive home, is pick her up so she doesn't have to drive. Yep. She drove straight here from the shelter that last week. All right, Walter, let's see here. You got 4 going. Let's see if you can make that 5. Oh, did I jinx him? Yep. Oh, he almost carried it anyways. A little high there for a 6-pin. A righty's 4-pin, if you will. All right. We got Ed covering. Oh, no. Oh, he did. Okay. I thought he missed that for a split second. I think he thought he missed that for a half second, too.
Anybody else feeling the effects of that lack of hour of sleep last night?
Oh, yeah. I am for sure. I was telling Rick about that this morning. I knew about it. We talked about it. Everything was going on. I woke up and I was ready. The clock said the right time, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm tired." Jess left because she went to do her thing. And I was like, "All right, cool. I'll get up here and shower." Next thing I know, an hour had gone by, and I was still in bed. And I'm like, "Oh." I'm like, why am I so tired? I feel like I went to bed at an okay time. Oh yeah, that's why. I lost an hour of sleep there.
I woke up and I was like, "Yeah." Thought I went to bed at a decent hour, and I was like, still should have went to bed another hour earlier.
Yep. I woke up like, why am I so tired? Oh, I got an hour less sleep than I thought.
Yeah, I definitely felt it this morning.
Yep. It's like you said, you went home at 2 o'clock yesterday, so it wasn't like 2 p.m.
Yeah.
p.m. Normally that's 2 a.m.
Went home.
And even that might be early for you.
I even took a nap when I got home and ate a good dinner. Aiden created a new card game that we had to play and test out.
There you go.
Done that. Went to bed at a decent hour.
Nice.
All of this just equates to me being old, Steve.
Oh yeah,
I'm
I'm there too.
the
I'm
older I
there
get, the
too.
more these
Yep.
daylight savings times get me.
Yep. That's for sure. Yeah, we've just been eating pizza since Friday because we got the $10 Domino's any pizza. So I got a meat lovers essentially, and I've just been eating that all weekend.
Did Jim change his name to James? Oh no, I didn't
He's got
type
it's
that name in.
Jim in there.
I didn't type that name in. That's why it says Jim and not James. He must have
Okay.
talked Rick into putting Jim in there.
Uh,
Notice how Tab didn't bowl any of these shifts.
why
He
didn't
doesn't
Tab?
want me. He doesn't want me putting in his whole name.
Did he bowl on Friday?
No, he did not. I'm not sure
Okay.
why he didn't bowl singles this year.
Okay.
Pretty sure he's going to bowl the doubles though. He bowls with Bobby. He bowls with Bobby every year for doubles. So
There you go. That's good at least. So you can put his full name in then. Oh, they just slid with the ball things under Wendell's door. Good strike there by Jerry. You get some pretty solid games coming up here. Oh, let's see what Debbie's able to do here. Step up. She's had a pretty solid first game, but it seems to be losing at this game. Let's turn this around right here. Strike right here, right in there. Oh nope. It looks so good, and then it gets down lane, and it just hard left turn on her. Just a little bit further left there. Ooh. Yeah, it seems like really 15, 16. They're really struggling here. Miles struggled. Thomas, Jerry's or William. William's doing okay, but even he's missed a couple of spares. He wishes he had back. Over here on the left, Robin's still lighting it up well above her average, so she's pretty set, doing pretty good. Oh, Nick just can't get that 10 pin out. All right, John, let's see a strike here. Hold, hold, hold. There it is. Exactly what he was looking for on that shot. Right in the pocket. Once again, we're up to 75 people here on YouTube. Let us know where you're watching from, or if you have any questions. Let's ask this question, actually. Let's go here. What is your current favorite bowling ball? I know I've asked this all weekend, but I'm sure we got some new people in here. What bowling ball is your current favorite that you're throwing right now? For me, it's the Tour Dynamics. That's the one I'm throwing. I know that's been a discontinued ball for a while, but I had one in my closet. Got it re-drilled a few months ago, and I love that bowling ball. I'm now up to 3 of my, I want to say, 800s, and 3 of those have been with the Tour Dynamics. All 3 of them in this building. I know Clayton Otis's favorite bowling ball right now is a Storm Bionic, as well as Wendell Barger, but just seeing what you guys are currently throwing and enjoying throwing the most right now. All right, Robin, let's finish this out. Get ourselves into the 230s here. Oh. Oh, Robin. Reb, that light 10. Thomas with a split. Seen a lot of those red numbers up there. Really struggling to get some of those splits out. It's probably just taking off on a lot of people here. Oh, I'm going to be in trouble. Welcome
Wake
back,
up,
sir.
Steve. We got some bowling going.
We do.
Tim
Hey,
celebrating
double
a
out
good
of
strike.
Tim. Robin able to sit here and get herself to a 216. I'm sure she wished she had a little bit higher, but still a solid game out of her. That's 2 back-to-back good games from Miss Robin. So those two, were they asking to bowl?
No, they were talking about some youth events that they would like to see ran. And
Yep. There's still some things like we've talked about that would be fun to run here. Some different, interesting little fun things. Whether it's some random oil patterns or one ball tournaments or spare ball tournaments, something like that. I always talk about it, but then there's never any time to actually run them.
all these ideas and not enough weekends.
Yeah, exactly.
But with that being said, anybody has an idea on a tournament they'd like to see run? We're
Norman
always
Anthony talking about.
yeah, talk about it. We'll talk about it. We'll see what we can do, and if we can make your vision come to life, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, so looking at this, Norman Anthony. Sorry, I just saw some of these guys. So you just kind of put them out there. It takes a little bit of a delay, but he likes to throw the Black Widow Ghost Pearl at the moment. But he's getting a Phase 2 drill tomorrow. Phase 2 is a good bowling ball. Only there's a
Yep,
good
can't
reason
go wrong with
why.
it.
There's a good reason why you run it. You have that situation where the bowling ball is on the market for that long. It's a good bowling ball, and
Yeah.
that ball has been on the market for a very long time. Thomas Peterson talking about candle. He throws a candlepin bowling ball because that's up in New England, and I know they do. You see a lot more of that candlepin bowling up there. I've seen some
Yep.
of those. It'd be interesting to give that a try. I do think it'd be fun. It's a very interesting situation there. And
Yeah,
someone's saying, yep.
them. Oh, man, I'd like to wish I could do it again, but it was the few times I've tried it, it was a blast.
Yeah,
Not very. My bowling style does not
no,
relate or translate over
no,
to
nope. That is
candlepin
a
bowling.
totally different
Tell you
thing.
that now.
Yeah, yeah.
the really, really good ones in that sport and candlepin bowling slide feet. I do not.
Yep. Yeah, Gavin said a coach of St. X ran a tournament one time where you had to bowl one game normal, second game was with your left hand or your opposite hand, and then the third game you had to use a house ball. That's an interesting time right there. The opposite hand would really throw a lot of people off.
I tell that a lot. So we used to do that a lot when we were youth bowlers.
Yep.
We did it for fun. It wasn't told we had to. We would always mess around
Apparently,
and go, I can beat you with
Miles
my left
bowled
hand.
between his legs at that spare, according to Gavin. I didn't see that, but I guess he went through his legs because I'm sure he's kind of given up on the day. I think 15 and 16 is getting annoyed at a lot of things. You can look up at that scoreboard and I can see why. Unless your name is Jim, you're Jim or Jerry, you're not really having a good time on this pair.
Yeah, one extra person on it.
Yeah, they just seem to be really
Probably
some people
making that
really
breakdown really, really rough.
Yeah. I mean, really though, you wouldn't think, oh, it would be that. I mean, it's 4 bowlers, so I mean, you wouldn't think it'd be any different than senior leagues or progressive league or anything like that.
I haven't really paid attention. Is somebody throwing the U word out there?
I haven't seen it. I mean, not that I saw. Oh
Say
yeah,
it like
we were
it's a
just
bad
discussing
word.
that.
We say it like it's a bad word, but I haven't seen it. I don't see your thing on the rack.
No, I mean, you even have a lefty bowling too, so it's not like you got 8 bowlers all bowling the same line or anything.
William dared that pin. It acted like it wanted to stand.
Yep. I mean, looking at it though, I feel like on the right side, Jim may have one of the higher rev rates of everybody. So maybe it is just the fact that you got everybody throwing a very similar line and just tearing each other up. Jim's one of the only ones, and Jerry too, can get farther left and go around to whatever's out there. And when I say further left, it's a relative term.
Further than the rest, yeah.
Yeah. You don't have anybody like left of the middle arrow there. Oh, give it to him. Nope. But I mean, the fact that he's rolling over 15, you don't normally see that a lot with the seniors. Usually, they're anywhere, if they're more than 5 boards away from 10, it's usually because they're throwing up 5.
You're right. It's the other direction.
Yeah. I mean, even Jerry there, you just see, I mean, he's still making it work because I think Jerry's able to kind of flatten his hand out a little bit, but even Jerry's throwing straight up 10 there, it looked like.
Yeah, we're saying all that, and then you could turn around and watch over there on 13 and 14. Nick Vogel saying it'll be left of center arrow.
Well, no, he will. Yeah, I was more talking, the people here on 15 and 16, and even still, yeah, Nick will be, but it's rare to see too many of these senior bowlers. Nick is probably one of maybe 5 to 10 bowlers who would ever, not saying that they can't bowl left of the middle arrow, but would choose to.
Sure.
Yeah. Especially in a house tournament like this, I mean. Because I definitely saw Kenny Abner there bowling earlier today, and of course he can bowl from any arrow at any time, but he's probably not going to choose to do that on a house shot.
Let's watch that. Tim
was pretty far left. Yeah, I was going to say Tim's going to sit here and prove me wrong. We'll see if Ed proves me wrong
out
too.
There in the track area.
Yep. Looks like Ed's going to be too. Oh, no,
Ed
might be right
making that adjustment.
Yeah, that's true. Ed looked like he went right up about 10 there, a little right of that.
Listen, somebody come get Gavin because he's going to make me feel real old. He's asking why Nick Arvin hasn't bowled this yet. Nick's not that old yet, and I'm not far behind Nick. And he's like, I thought Nick was for sure 50.
Well, I made that mistake. I made that mistake with Joel a couple of times, and I felt bad. So I did that with Joel, and he let me know
the good
that I
news
was wrong.
is you're not 14 years old making us feel that old.
That's true.
It stings a little different when the 14-year-old's doing it.
Well, the 14-year-old has a little bit more of an excuse than the 38-year-old thinking the guy looks 50 who's not anywhere near it.
It's becoming that time. Channels are going to have to change.
Oh, yeah, it's 4 o'clock.
Hold on 1 second, Steve.
We got to see the Anthony Simonson show. Oh, what just happened? Why'd we freeze? Uh-oh. Hold on, guys. I see that the bottom lane locked up there. Give me a second. I'm going to figure out what happened.
Uh-oh, what happened, Steve?
I think the phone died. But give me a second, and I will see if I can solve that problem. Which is odd, because I've had it plugged in, so it shouldn't have been able to die. Give me a second.
We're going.
All right, and we're back. Sorry about that, guys. Our camera died on us. I'm just happened to notice that, so we are back. We're back up and going. A little bit different quality there on this one, but still able to bring you guys the action either way. CJ, this is the last shift. I know you probably hear that. I would say probably Simo. I mean, it's hard to bet against Simo. That's for sure. I mean, he's the 1 seed. He's in there. It's hard to bet against Simo. He has been top 10 in that event. I think every year he's missed one top 10 since 2015. I think somehow he finished 127th, and I'm not even entirely sure how that happened for him, but he's been top 10 since 2015, which is just an outrageous number when you think about that. Under the U.S. Open and how difficult that is to bowl. The fact that he's able to do that every single year, year in and year out, is just phenomenal. And it's just crazy to think of somebody being able to do that for that long. It just makes no sense. But he does it. Gavin saying Patrick has been insane this week, 300, 299, which I mean it could be. Patrick Dombrowski's definitely gonna have a shot, but getting past Simonson, he is just a different animal in this tournament.
Yeah, when it comes to this U.S. Open, he is for sure.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He's top 10 since 2015. He's been top 10 every year but one, and the other technically two, but that was because 1 year they didn't have it because of COVID. And then the other year, I don't know, he must have been injured or something because he finished 127th. So it's like
5 years 10. In a row he's made the telecast, right? Something like that.
Yep. Yep. To be top 10, 10 out of 11 tries is stupid. I mean, and he's not even 30 either, is he?
He might be.
No.
Might be right at
29. He is 29 years old.
29. I was about to say, if he's
he was born in
1997.
So since the age of 18, since he has been an adult bowler, he has made the top 10 out of the 11 tries that he's ever bowled the U.S. Open. That's just insane.
Which tournament was it? He did the whole telecast throwing a backup ball?
I can't remember, but I know he definitely pulled that out before. There was 1 year at the U.S. Open where the pattern was like super short or super long or something, and everybody was struggling on it. And he literally, I think, took like a spare ball up straight up 15 or something, and just beat everybody by like 200 pins. Like it wasn't even fair. And it was just silly what he was able to do, and no one else was anywhere near that line at all.
Going away.
All right, coming up to the end of the second game here on 15 and 16. All right, we'll also be slowly kind of making some comments on that. Gene Carter Classic is when he threw a backup ball. Gavin would pulling out the Google.
There you go.
Oh,
Hard enough to make a TBA televised event. Hard enough. And then you're going to sit there and do it and then throw a backup ball on a TV show. Like, tell me you're real good without telling me you're real good.
Yep. I will say,
let me be the best guys in the world throwing a backup ball.
Yep. Having switched out those cameras, I think part of it may have been that we were connected to an extension cord and everything else plugged into the computer. So I think in the future, as we do this with that camera, we're gonna have to plug like that directly into an outlet in a fast charge situation, because that's what happened there. Is the phone died.
Oh,
while it was plugged in. But again, like I said, it was plugged into an extension cord that's plugged into the back of the computer. So that's not going to be a very high power situation.
not
But
ideal, huh?
no. But if I can get a
Well,
normal
ideally, we're not
charger in
here,
here, 2 hours.
but for most of our live streams.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we started at 2. So that, and honestly, I even had it on even before that. I think I turned the camera itself on at like 1:45. So it made it a good 2 hours before it died. So typically we are not here for 2 hours. But I think in the future I'll know that it needs to be plugged into probably best scenario is going to just have one of the like you're charging your phone at home situation.
Right.
Because looking at this, I mean, the iPhone that we got is still decent here, but it's a little bit older of an iPhone, and I don't know if you're able to pull it up. I don't know if you're able to pull it up on your phone, but the coloring on this iPhone is definitely interesting, to say the least.
Let me pull it up.
Yeah. It's like I didn't realize the lanes were quite that orange.
Yeah, that is a unique color.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. So I think I'm going to try and use the 2, because I've even got another. Oh, I've got a Samsung phone down here, and I think I'm going to probably try and use the Samsung phone as our downlink camera here for the next week, while we use the camera we were just using, the phone we were using for the first 2 hours of this event, because I feel like the clarity on that was really good. If you back it up, if you've got it up on YouTube or whatever, and look back at what it looked like earlier, you can see the clarity that had. Double 5-pin. Let's see if William's able to break this streak here. We'll see what Miles is going to do now that he's given up on the day. There we go. Good solid strike there for Miles.
Usually what you do after you kind of quit caring.
Yep. Oh, well, it's not a 5-pin, so that's plus. Oh, kick that out of there. Thomas really showing us the meaning of senior carry today. Oh, Williams okay there. Little bit of a approach issue it seemed like, but he's fine.
Who was it that said you don't have to be a top peak performing athlete to play this game?
I'm not sure who that was, but Andy Reich. Not sure where he was from, but yeah. All right, let's see what we got here. That looks like a Storm concept being thrown there up on television. That was the interesting thing. I was talking about that with Rick today, how the PBA, or not the PBA, but the USBC for the US Open and the Masters banned urethane. You cannot throw any urethane at all at either of those tournaments. Which is interesting now that I say that, because that looks like a urethane ball.
Sure does.
What did he just throw? Because everything I heard was that urethane was banned. Someone was saying a lot of people were throwing plastic balls. That didn't look like. Maybe it is a plastic ball. Oh, it is. It's a white dot. Or no, it's a hammer. Oh, I think it's an axe. I think he's sanded down an axe. That's what that is.
Ah.
No, hey, CJ, careful. No, yeah, careful on that.
Well, yeah, the way that ball reacted down
like
lane,
plastic,
it definitely looked like a plastic ball now.
Yeah. The first time he threw it, it didn't look. It turned a corner there, but that one definitely, that looked like a plastic ball. Which honestly, that is the interesting thing. Is supposedly the axe is not plastic.
Brunswick.
The hammer's
Hammer axe.
plastic ball.
Yeah, which actually it's not even a plastic ball. It is a reactive, but I guess they did something to it that basically it's like a plastic ball. It has the reaction of a plastic ball. But I remember
Yeah, that's what
hearing
Rick
about
was talking about
those.
too earlier.
Yeah.
I didn't keep up with all the newer stuff coming out.
Yeah, I mean, it was literally, the axe was made to be a spare ball. It is a spare ball. That's what it was made to do. But they are definitely throwing it in this event. This is the first time I've ever seen people throw it that way. I've thought about getting an axe just for when you come in here and you can't throw anything, and then that way,
well, that's
probably isn't going to tear the lane up as bad as something else. But I think it's still a very low oil absorption ball. So I think it's still going to move the oil around a decent amount. No, we're not talking Gavin. We're not talking about Anderson. We're talking about Foy. Foy's Brunswick.
Yeah, he was. I think he meant Anderson can't throw it, not Foy.
Yeah, no, Anderson looks like he's throwing the concept. Although honestly, once you get surface on some of these spare balls, it's hard to tell what they are. But that looks like the concept to me. Although it didn't look to have the. Oh, hey, that spare ball looks familiar.
We've given a couple of those away.
We have, and there's one in my bag. Sadly, they weren't selling them any this year. I looked for them; they didn't have anything like that going this year. Yep, I was gonna say where's the axe, and it is. It's down there at the bottom. There you go. That's what he wanted out of that. Nope, it's 10 stood up. Oh. Sorry, guys. We're sitting here talking about different events. Let's start focusing on this one, the one in front of us, and what you guys are seeing. Got Deanna stepping up here. Let's see if she's able to get another strike here on 14. That is not a spare ball, I'll tell you that much. Oh, give it. Okay. It's makeable. Also kind of funny how the different televisions are on different timings. See what Tim's able to do here. See if he's able to not be the one guy. Don't be that guy, Tim. Don't be that guy, Tim. He wasn't
Not
that guy.
Not him. You got to wake up a little early in the morning to get him.
Yep. Yeah, Gavin, the concept is supposedly, it's such a unique situation that they have. Again, where's Rick when you need him? But I just know is supposedly the strongest ball they've ever made, the strongest cover. But I think it's the strongest cover, but they put the strongest cover on like one of the weakest cores. And that's what the concept is, as well as the cover is literally the fastest absorbing cover I think they've ever had in terms of oil. I've seen some videos when people have thrown that, and literally by the time the ball gets back to the ball return, there is no oil on it.
Huh.
Yeah. Like that is how quick the oil is getting absorbed. But, yep. All right, we got Robin stepping up here, seeing if she can finish out her good set. Good. All right, Jerry, let's get yourself a strike here. Oh, wow.
Nope,
Okay.
just a bit outside.
Oh, keep falling. His name isn't Thomas.
They're all
He didn't get the
testing that senior
strike.
carry today, aren't they?
They are. Ooh, Mary. Thought I saw that when that turned. Ooh, wow. Covers up the spares, so that's good. Let's see if Debbie makes a run at this spare. Oh, I don't think that's going to hook enough. Nope. All right, let's see what James is able to go ahead and clean up this spare from James. You keep turning your headset down every time you take it on and off. Oh, a little bit outside there for Walter. Yeah, I can tell you right now, these lanes are really fried right now because that Miles is playing way left of where he normally plays. That is not his normal line. He is traditionally a very down and in type player, and he is definitely putting some swing into that one. Again, I say that relatively speaking, but that is typically not the line you see out of Miles. William able to get a strike there. Solid shot out of him. Showing a bunch of different bowling balls up on the screen there. All right, James, let's see what you're able to do there. Nick getting the double. Jim's able to throw it in there. Oh, a little bit heavy. 4-pin. Oh, let's see. Thomas going to get... Nope, no carry for Thomas that time. All right, Deanna, let's get our strike. Another strike here. Oh, get that 10 out. All right, I got Deanna. I gotta go try and clean up that 10 pin. Got Tim Brandon stepping up, seeing if he can get himself a double up. Ooh, tap that 10 pin out of there. Good shot there. Well, Gavin, that's what a plastic ball will do. That's why you don't see people typically throw that one. Anytime you do, if you are not super high flush, you are leaving a 10 pin. Or in some cases, even a 5 pin or even worse. But typically, those just do not have the drive through the pins that you need. Oh, all right, guys. We're coming towards the end of this one. We still got about half a game left here on the right side. Finish this out for you as these people are starting to kind of figure it out. Leads on 15. Starting to figure some strikes out over there on the left side of the, for Ed, William, Jim, and Tim there. Miles, I said this earlier. That's one of the widest lines I think I've seen Miles throw in a long time. So they must be breaking down pretty bad. I think I heard him say that he's just out of gas too, so that could be playing a
Yeah,
factor in that too.
long day for some of these guys.
Yeah,
I don't think it's the amount of games; it's the time they've been here.
yeah,
Because these guys are, well, when they bowl these sweepers, are used to bowling 5, 6, 7 games. But at least you get to go and keep doing it.
yeah,
From noon to 4 is a
yep,
totally different mindset than being here, at 9 in the morning till now 4:30.
yeah, and only blowing 6 games in that whole time frame.
Right. Sat down. You got up, you got loosened up, you bowled your 3 games, and they sat down for an hour
Yep,
to try to get back up and do it again. Yeah, a little exhausting
yeah,
when some of you younger guys get up into these ages. You'll know what I'm talking about then.
yeah. Also, just FYI for you guys, Wayne, seems like lane talk is not working, like at all.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, like because I was trying to just look up to see if anybody was on like a 5 pace or anything like that. There is nothing on lane talk at all. Five added there on 16, so that's interesting. It even scored at a 9, so it must have been not sure what knocked that out there. Let's see.
Lane Talk was working yesterday, right?
Yes, it was working yesterday. So something
it's not
shifted from last night to today.
So it's not an internet thing, 'cause that was on
The
yesterday.
last score shows at like 12:08 a.m. Did you guys close at midnight last night, or were you guys open later than that?
We closed at midnight.
Okay, so that would make sense. So whatever shifted from last night to now is what caused that.
Oh,
What?
nugget.
Said I don't know. I thought you said all.
The nugget.
Yeah. Oh, I was wondering what's going on here. Is this? Gonna see what happened with Thomas's shot here. I don't have replay, but I can go back on the YouTube and look at that. See what happened. I just know you guys had to put that 5 back up. I wasn't sure if it just didn't put it down or what happened with that, because it scored it a 9 even. Unless that's what it was. It scored it a 9, so it didn't even realize to pick it up. Oh, that's what happened. He scooted the 5 over, and it stood up. And so when it went to set it, it dropped it. Let's see what happened now. In there. Oh, get that 10 out. I had trying to get that 10 out there, but it just wouldn't cooperate. Nick. Oh, good shot there by Nick. Getting himself a strike. Getting back on strikes. Apparently, Nick Vogelsang has gone to a plastic ball. So apparently these lanes are breaking down today. Yeah, he's throwing a white dot. Or no, it's a storm. All right, Miles stepping up. We got Deanna. So get that in there. Get that 10 out. Come on. 10 pins not being very cooperative.
I just had that question, Steve, and I want to make sure that we mention it on the live stream. Next week, Scotch doubles.
Yes.
So everybody knows. Starting an hour earlier. Check in at
Oh,
10,
yep.
bowl at 11. We have league that night. We wanted to make sure we were done in plenty of time. So all that's on the flyers and stuff, I think. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did change it on the flyers. So all that's on the flyers. Just wanted to remind everybody next week, Scotch doubles. Check in starts at 10. We bowl at 11.
Nice. That makes sense.
So yeah, 2 Saturdays in a row, you're all losing an hour of sleep. Sorry.
Yeah. All right, so Anderson stepping up. So we've got the other TVs on, like we said. He needs a mark to win. That'll do it.
Can't get any better mark than that.
Nope. I think that was a case for anybody paying attention to that one. Was just a case of Tim Foy just could not get the 10 pin to go out. Throwing that axe. Good shot there by Robin, covering up the spare. Just struggling to get the carry anymore in this third game.
Hey, that Tim could get the 10 pin out though.
Yep, that Tim got the 10 pin out. That Tim's also bowling on a little bit easier of a shot.
Well, you listen. They're splitting hairs now, Steve.
uh,
Paula, she not in there?
yeah, you can sign up at any point. Just let Wayne know who you want to bowl with. Mm-mm. No. Okay. Nick Vogel saying he is bowling next week with Mike McFan. Yeah. I don't know if you heard that, Wayne. Yep. I just sent you a message, Wayne. I don't know if you heard, but Nick Vogel saying and Mike McFan, I think is who he said he was bowling with next week. He said they wanted to sign up. He said I asked if they needed a deposit. I was like, no. I told
Oh,
him
I
to
think
tell
I have
you,
them
but then
in.
he told you. Oh, okay.
I think Michael sent me the message.
Okay. Are you able to see if anybody was pushing up towards 8 today, or?
Or maybe not. The only one I think can threaten that I know of. These guys.
Or anybody down on the low end get there?
Clarence Garner rounded a corner with 499, so that's a no.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Scott Thomas, who had a really good first game, went 263, 184, so that's a no.
Yep.
Who, Corey Jish has a really good third game going, but not a very good first.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing I see.
Yep. Oh, fall one of those. Ah, Robin.
Please tell me I did not just see Ric Flair. I did see Ric Flair in a Car Shield commercial.
Oh, yep. Yep. We're getting that. We're getting that age.
Oh, Lordy.
Yep.
How was that not in the Super Bowl? Was that a Super Bowl commercial and I don't know it?
I doubt it.
If anybody ever wants any commentary from the bowlers themselves, just listen carefully. You could probably hear Robin Stevens.
Probably. Definitely don't want to bowl a gutter
We would
anywhere
not
around
have to
her.
mic her up. That's for sure.
No. Just get her in a general vicinity of a microphone and you'll hear her. So there's 13 guesses on my score tonight, and 3 people think I'm going to shoot under 600. I am upset with those 3 people.
Hold on a second. I got to call Clayton now.
Yep. All right, William. Let's see you get here. Let's get a 5-pack. 5-bagger. Come on. Get it in there. There you go. Good shot from William.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Robin was chasing one of the kids. Hollered at Clayton and said, "Why didn't you stop her, Clay?" Clay said, "Oh, I didn't hear you." I had to tell him he was a liar.
Yeah. That's for sure. Right after we just got done talking about it.
Right. Everybody on the live stream heard her, Clayton.
Yeah. What did William have the first 2 games? I know he had
Ziegler?
decent. Yeah. It was 247, I think, game 1. What did he end up with game 2?
$47.15.
Oh, okay, 15. Never mind. He's got a 290 on paper going, so
$7.50 is going to be a good cent. I think
yeah.
William might be in the 55 to 59 range too. I'm not sure.
Okay.
William, what class are you in for this? What class are you in for this? You are. He is one level up, 55 to 59 range.
Yep.
So 750 might be a pretty good showing point.
Yep.
Not gonna win. We know. We had 813 earlier today in that class. Scratch might be 820 something with their handicap.
Yeah. Oh. Another 10 pin there from Deanna. Strike out of Debbie. There you go. Get that strike. Well, I mean, both of you average more than Tony. Tony trying to get in the women's jackpot. Tony averages less than both of the people he's sitting there talking to. There you go, Miles. There's a good strike. Starting to figure some things out, those guys are. Like we said, Ed, or William, Jim, and Tim have been doing pretty solid, but nice to see Debbie and Miles putting together some strikes there.
Miles might be throwing strikes just to that may be out of
Yeah.
self-defense.
Yeah. He's ready to
He
go
may
home.
not have the energy to throw another bowling ball.
Yeah.
Right.
Come on, Robin. Oh, no.
Something spooked William.
Oh, yeah. All right, James, let's see what you're able to do here. Finish off the Thomas. Oh, Lord. Oh, there he is again. Oh. Thomas giving us another definition of senior carry. Thomas. Oh, man. Yeah. Come on, Ziegler. Let's go. 6-pack alert. Get in there. Oh, I
Oh
thought that.
no!
Yep, that's my fault. Turned just a little too hard there.
If you ask him right now, I don't think he'll blame you.
Yeah.
How's it going? Chris
All right.
Vai's turn up here on
Yep. U.S. Open.
CW. He's one of our Cincinnati area
Bowlers. Oh, get in there.
bowlers. Yeah,
Good finish there for you,
within that
James.
hour driving distance.
Yep. James up on the top right of your screen there. Get finishing out that game, striking out to break his get over 200. All right, Jerry again. Your chance, don't be that guy. Oh, it's got a hook. Oh, we did. Not that guy once again. Woo. Jim was watching that go down the whole way down the lane, wondering if it was going to hang on. Walter getting there. He's sitting there throwing a couple of strikes. He's pointing up the lane, talking about how he's almost up to 18 miles an hour just to keep the ball on the right of the headpin. Clayton saying he's still got 3 years left before he gets to bowl this one. He's telling Robin she ain't going to want none of him when he gets up to this level. Ooh, get out of there. There you go, John. Cover that spare up. There you go. Good shot. Get himself into decent. Nick Vogelsang getting ready, talking back here, but getting ready to step up for his 10th frame here in a little bit. John throwing his last ball of the tournament.
Have a good one, Todd. Todd Baker making his way out the doors. Good to see him back in a bowling alley bowling well again.
Yep. Yeah, Rick was talking about how he had taken a long time off, but Rick got him a bowling ball, and he's been back into it here for almost a year.
Yeah, he was telling me when he was down here on 19 and 20, his last shift, and he was bowling. He said, "Man, I'm tired." And I said, "Yeah, you go from doing this 3 or 4 nights a week, bowling 3 games 3 or 4 nights a week, to not doing it for a long, long while, and then you just come back out and doing it. 3 games will do that to you."
Yeah.
The attrition is for real.
Yep. Oh,
He
another
did
10
say he was
pin.
able to shoot a 680 down there this set, so he's getting
There
it
you go.
back. Good to
Yep.
see him back and bowling well again.
Good. I think Deanna just left her 6th or 7th 10 pin of this game.
Well, listen, Deanna's. Somebody's going to have to tell her she's not going to win anything wearing that jersey. Sorry.
Well, that's true. Of
As
course,
long
we
as she's
can't say
wearing that
too much
jersey, she's
either.
going to be a well. There's always next year.
Yep. Deanna says you need an announcement for her being clean with all those 10 pins.
30 clean, 30 clean with all those 10 pins.
I'm not sure if she was 30 clean, but she was
So she was
definitely
clean
10
that
clean.
game.
Yeah, with all 6 10 pins, she made all 6 of them, I think. Northwest Lanes, I congratulate Deanna Pickett on 6 straight 10 pins. I think there's a chance you could see this go between his legs again. Yep, he just looks defeated. He's ready to go home. Nope, yep. He didn't even walk. Yeah. Field goal is good. All right, let's see, Deanna. Let's get a strike here. Strike it out. Come on. Get that 10 pin out of there. Lift. Oh, there it is.
There you go.
Let's go.
That's the best way to make them is not leave them.
Oh. All right, that's it for the top screen. We've just got this bottom screen left here.
That is one stat I am super proud of in my bowling career.
What would that be?
That would be I have never missed a spare on any given frame that I struck on. I'm 100% on those spares.
I'm going to go ahead and call bullshit on that because I have a feeling that you struck the first ball of the 10th and then missed a spare afterwards.
Don't rain on my parade, Steve.
Don't you ruin a good time with logic, sir.
Don't you ruin a good time. It's all fun and games until Steve got serious.
Well, yeah, because that was $100 left on the table because Steve didn't have a clean 10th frame after he struck the first ball 2 weeks ago.
We're not talking Northwest Lanes sweeper clean.
That's. You didn't even say clean. You said I've never missed a spare in a frame that I struck in.
Steve, laugh. It was a joke. It's funny.
Have you met me? I'm laughing, but I'm still going to call you out.
Right. Thanks. Right. I appreciate
Anytime. It was 30 clean. Okay. I know you had 6 10 pins that game. You made all 6 of them. Congratulations on 30 clean. There you go. She was 30 clean. Two frames to go. Get in there. There's a good shot from Ed. Get some strikes here so we can be done with this. I mean, I'm appreciating doing this, but it's a long day. There you go, Miles. Get that strike. finishing these last thing up here. So I want to thank you guys for watching today. Anybody who stuck around all day or stuck around a long time, we definitely want to thank you guys for watching. We actually want to go ahead and thank our sponsors too. We got Strikers Bowling Pro Shop here in Northwest Lanes. Storm Bowling Equipment. They donating some balls, definitely helping out for that cause as well. Donut Spot, giving some nice, wonderful, delicious donuts. And I Am Bowling jerseys. They're always helpful with our tournaments and everything that we do. I want to thank you guys. Thank them. Use Wayne 300 to get
going over
20%
Bowling.
off.
Yeah, Wayne 300 to check out.
And I want to thank you guys for sticking this out with us. Gavin's already given up. Oh, William Ziegler getting a little bit light there and falling off on that one. There's a good strike there by Jim. See if Jerry's able to finish off. Again, another case of don't be that guy, Jerry. It's the second time
I got a
this game
feeling
for
you
him.
got to wake up a little earlier in the morning than this to get Jerry.
Yep. We'll see.
I'm calling it now. He's striking.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Same
Oh,
as. Same as.
yeah.
Same
Yeah.
as.
Yeah, that.
Same as.
All right.
Cool your jet, Steve. It's the same as.
That 5 is the same as 10?
It's a split conversion. It's the same as.
Okay. So he's got to make this.
As.
He's got to make it. So you're saying that Jerry's going to make this spare on the live stream right now?
Well, yeah. In order for me to be right, he has to.
Well, I'm
Am
sure
I ever
Casey
wrong?
Casey is definitely going to have an answer.
Casey's not on this live stream. We're talking to you, Steve.
Says the person who said he's never missed a spare that he struck in. Or spare in a frame that he struck in.
Absolutely. Boy, that pin tried to come out of there.
It did. It definitely pushed it across.
I was going to get happy.
Yeah.
I might have caused a scene in this bowling alley if he'd have made that.
All right, Debbie, come on. Let's see here. Finish this off with a nice another double. Get in there. Oh, okay. All right, and let's see if you can double up into the 10th. Come on. Get in there. Oh, wow, that took off. Wow, that grabbed and flew.
Whew. All right, Debbie gonna make it? Gonna make it? Gonna make it? Gonna give a run at it. Ooh.
Oh.
All right, I'm tired of being wrong. Ed's making this one.
Okay, there you go.
Step out on a limb. Ed's making.
Well, I mean, he missed. Okay.
I'm scared.
I was wondering there, yeah.
I was scared.
Ooh, Miles going way left there. All right, Ed, you gonna throw this strike? Let's get it. Let's get it right at the head pin. That's our goal right now. Right at the head pin.
Well, that's gonna be. Nope.
No, well,
it started right at the head pin.
It did. That was actually what I was going to talk about earlier. Wow. Okay. That's the one that the last 2 years. It wasn't even the pins, but I feel like the last 2 years I've seen a lot more of those four count spares here in this building. I don't know what shifted here the last 2 years or so, but those have definitely become more common than I ever remember them
They're
doing.
done.
Wayne, can they bowl now? Or can they bowl? Are they allowed to bowl?
He's gonna make me turn this car around.
Talking about Gavin and CJ, they're still up here asking if they can practice. I knew that's why they were up here. Got 2, 4, 5 bowlers to go. Ooh. That ball took off on Andrew up there on the television. Of course, I had to block that off so you guys aren't able to see that. I don't want YouTube yelling at me for having any sort of video on the screen that we aren't supposed to have.
Not so much YouTube yelling at us. It'd be the CW that I don't want yelling at
Oh
us.
gosh, Thomas is getting ready to do something. Oh Lord. He's screaming at me, asking me if we're live. What do we got going on here?
Dollar, you don't strike. Thomas, you owe me $1.
Woo! Not entirely sure what that was, but okay. I was expecting something crazy. That just looked like a normal shot to me.
That's Thomas.
That is true. Anything normal is what's abnormal if it's Thomas involved. Strike out of William there. All right,
What
Jerry.
did we say William went? He went 50, 62. Strike out for 37. Oh no.
Oh, he just missed a 7.
99 if he strikes out.
Get out of there, Jerry. Ah. Oh, that's gonna. Oh,
Listen,
it did.
that was no doubter. Did you see what hand he threw that with? No
Yeah,
doubter.
that's true.
No doubter.
What am I thinking?
Right. This one strikes all day long for $6.99. Watch.
So it's not going to wrap a 7 pin?
To the bank. If he wraps a 7 pin, he loses his lefty card. Not allowed to be a left-hander no more. No, I don't know. I don't know. None of this is supposed to make sense.
Okay.
Right? Jesus Christ. Steve, that is 1,000% your fault.
Well, I'll take
1,000% your fault.
Full credit for that.
That is 1,000% your fault. God.
Oh man. Oh.
How did you call it?
I had an idea. I think Jim's about to do the same thing. I'm gonna have bury another strike here and wrap a 10 pin. Either way, it doesn't matter. He's throwing 2 balls no matter what here. Yep. Oh, that's a little slow. Oh, we got away with it. All right, wrap 10.
Now it's got to come true. It's got to come true.
Now I got to wrap 10 it.
How you called that? It's unreal. I don't think.
And it wasn't even just a 10 pin. It was a wrap 10 too.
7.
Exactly when I wrapped 7. Yeah.
He couldn't have thrown a better shot all day long.
Yep. Oh, that's in too. That's in too. Oh, that was nope. I was like, ooh, that's in. That could. It may not have been a wrap, but that would have been a flat if it would have stayed right. No, I'm only right once. All right, last bowler of the entire event, right here, guys. Is he striking
All right.
out?
$1. I got $1 he strikes right here.
All right, got it. That's
am.
$1. Oh wait, no,
Oh,
maybe.
no.
Oh.
The roller coaster ride of dollar bets
Yep.
is crazy. Stupid.
I probably could have made a lot of money on that rep
Stupid game.
710.
It's a stupid game.
Yeah. Multiple times.
Also, I'll put this dollar up again for you on Tuesday. I'll give it back. You wanna do a double or nothing on if I break 680 tonight?
Oh, bet.
Okay.
Bet.
Okay.
Listen, I got full faith in you, and I
No,
don't
I
want you
know.
to think my 643
No,
guess
it's
is
not.
low.
I
It's
know
a
exactly
good
what you're
guess
saying. I'm just gonna
for
not
what you're
carry or
doing.
something. Yeah.
There's going to be one or two of them bowling balls that are just not good for tonight.
Yeah.
And inevitably there's going to be a game where you land on that more than half the game.
Yeah. Gonna roll a 1 probably 18 times tonight.
Look here, Tim. Me and you is going to argue. Yeah, it was 1 your plastic ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
all right, guys. I want to thank you for tuning in today and yesterday. We'll be back at this again next week, around 4 o'clock or so, 3:30, 4 o'clock. We'll be back at a live stream of the finals of the Wellman Construction Scotch Doubles.
Yep.
So thank you, guys. We will see you back then. Have a great rest of your day.
See you.